This is Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on his own. Johnny Nelson joins me. Thanks
Stomping
for
Ground.
giving me some of your
We
time.
got mics now, man. That's good. That's a good thing.
We're moving up in the world. So I was playing Undisputed last night for the first time. Jumped on, thought I'd jump straight into Carl Froch versus George Groves. I was a big George Groves fan when I was younger. And you popped up in the corner.
In the
I know
corner.
you're on the game. But the
I'm in
corner
the
team
game.
was you.
I'm doing the commentary.
I think the corner team was you, Ben Davison, and who else was it? I can't remember. But yeah, you popped up in the corner.
Is people living vicariously through the fighters they want to be or they want to see. Undisputed. I'm not into those kind of games, but you know the feedback. Over the weekend, they sold 18 million units. 18 million units in the first weekend of launch. This is how big this is. Because there's not been a game like it. There's not been a game similar to it. You know, the belt now is the undisputed belt that Better BF and Bibble were fighting for. Undisputed has placed itself everywhere and anywhere, and they've done the right thing because there's been a cry out for it for a long, long time.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's taken this long to get a boxing game. The demand was obviously massive, so mate, I had good fun playing last night. I looked at the rankings as well. You're 84 rated. The only three cruiserweights above you were Alexander Usyk,
And Evander Holyfield.
Roy Jones Jr.
Roy was
and
above me. Come on.
Rocky Marciano.
I had a smash. What? Cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Rocky,
At cruiserweight,
Rocky,
I swear
Rocky
to
was
God.
a cruiserweight.
Rocky was a 92 rated cruiserweight.
Yeah, I'd have done him too.
You standing on that?
Yeah, man, I'm standing on that. Bring it on.
Let's talk about Saturday night. O'Hara Davis versus Adam Azim. Did you watch a press conference yesterday? Because I know
I did watch a press conference yesterday,
Yeah.
and O'Hara Davis actually surprised me because originally when we were here announcing the fight, I said this boy's not going to turn up for the fight. He was pissed off at everybody, apart from Adam. And then I saw him yesterday. I thought he's been training. He's on it. He can bang people out. He knows Adam, so he knows what Adam's capable of doing. Because he's grown up with this young man. He knows what he can get away with, what he can't get away with, and vice versa. A non-form O'Hara Davis is a dangerous crossroads for Adam Azim. So if they've made a mistake, and if Adam's going to get to that next level, he's going to get rid of O'Hara Davis. But do not be surprised, because you speak to people that are from the gym, you speak to people that have worked with him, O'Hara Davis, you speak to Anthony Yard, you speak to the coaches, you speak to Tundi. He knows the talent of these fighters, and even the ones that know, they say if O'Hara Davis turns up, there could be a mistake here.
Do you think a lot of people are basing O'Hara's chances on his last performance?
Yes.
I mean, a first round knockout
And the thing is, O'Hara
any favours.
Davis is a very hard man to read or give him the respect where respect is due because of the things he says, because of how he is, because of he's not constantly in the face of the media because his tongue's a bit loose. But don't ignore the fact that he can fight because the boy can fight.
I mean, he was quite adamant yesterday that he doesn't really like boxing anymore.
He doesn't like this. He doesn't like this.
Sports.
He doesn't like talking to people. He likes fighting, likes hurting people, but he doesn't like this. That's why he didn't turn up today.
Is he going to like what he sees on Saturday night from Adam Azim?
I think Saturday night he'll just get the job done. I actually personally don't think I think he didn't turn up today because he likes Adam. And he knows on Saturday he's got to get a job done. He'll turn up for the weigh-in and get out of there. He likes Adam. And they're friends, they like each other, but he doesn't like everybody else around him. So maybe he wants to just keep that gap between them.
Is that a tough place to be in? Is it something you faced when you was a fighter?
It can be. I can remember fighting Tony Booth. He was in our gym and my opponent pulled out and he wanted the job to fight me, and I'm thinking he's my mate, but Tony Booth can be a tricky, slimy devil, and if he beat me, that's me done. And so I thought, all right then. So I thought, do I beat him on points or do I knock him out? I knocked him out because I thought I don't want to give a man a chance that shouldn't have one, and that's what should happen Saturday night.
Yeah, I love the little narrative that lies underneath this, as well as the fact that it's a brilliant fight. Good to see Anthony Yard back on the card. I know he's got a job to do, but let's be honest, everyone today has been talking about Anthony Yard, Joshua Buatsi. It's a fight that we don't just want to see, we kind of need to see, you think?
We need to see it. I spoke to Anthony Yard and Tundi. Tundi said, we want the fight. There's no reason why it shouldn't happen. Joshua Buatsi said, we want the fight. There's no reason why it shouldn't happen. So it's only the politics of our game why this fight won't happen. The politics are down to the promoters getting their heads together and getting on with the job. Will the promoters be spiteful and take it away from the fans because they want to get at the fighters? We don't know. Might be a subtle kind of pressure on them. There is no reason why this won't happen. So why would the promoters do that, or how would they do that? They could just make it hard for these fights to actually happen. If you're hearing both fighters want to do it, then it's only the promoters that'll put a hurdle at why it doesn't happen. So then you've got to point the finger at the promoters and say, well, you know, we've heard it from both fighters' mouths. Joshua Buatsi will be in the studio on Saturday. He wants to see this fight. It doesn't matter where the fight happens. You know, these guys want to fight each other.
Who would go into that fight as favourite, do you think?
I don't know.
JB because of recent
Joshua
form?
Buatsi would go in as favourite, but then, you know, horses of courses. You know, it depends on what you're looking at. It's a great fight.
Yeah, brilliant fight. Let's cover Riyadh a little bit. Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev. How did you have it at the time?
I had Beterbiev up by 1 round, if not a draw. It was subjective. 3 judges had scored 10 rounds identical. I think Beterbiev started the fight exactly the same pace he finished at. Bivol started the fight high, run out of gas towards the back end of the fight. Beterbiev knew how to time the rounds, turn it on the last 15-20 seconds of the first half of the fight, second half of the fight, turn it on the last minute. So impressed the judges, got the judges' eye, which helped sway it in the way he wanted it swayed. Good fight, they fight each other again. I think Bivol wins because they know how to turn the pressure on. So we'll just see.
Yeah. I know things would seem a lot more intense at the time. What did you make of the furore that night of, the 8-4 card was disgusting. Dimitri Bivol clearly won the fight. I know sometimes the next day you can take a step back and be like, okay, I can see many different
Well, it depends on whose camp you're in. It's just how it is. Hopefully the fight happens again. If it happens again, then answer the question. But it wasn't a robbery. And, you know, if everybody's saying it's a robbery, it's a robbery. But, you know, it wasn't. I didn't think it was a robbery. It's just how you saw the fight.
Yeah. If we're to get that fight again, is it a better fight than we saw?
It's a better fight. I think Bivol wins the next fight.
Yeah.
I don't think Beterbiev has a higher pace. He's older, and I understand when you're an older fighter, you've got to control the pace because Bivol's got to get Beterbiev to work at his pace, take him out of his comfort zone, which he didn't. Beterbiev stayed cool, walked down, tried to walk him down, didn't box out of his comfort zone. I think Bivol will be happy to pour a lot more energy into it, but he'll measure his energy to know what he can do and can't do for 12 rounds.
So you think the rematch would deliver, but do you think the first fight lived up to expectations, entertainment-wise?
Yes, but if you're a boxing connoisseur, it did. If you're a casual, you probably didn't appreciate what you were actually seeing.
Just on one of the big talking points from Riyadh, Ben Whittaker, what's your take on the whole situation? A tough ending to the week in Riyadh.
Tough ending. I think Ben Whittaker will learn so much from that fight because you learn a lot in boxing, professional boxing. You learn the physical side of it, how hard a fight is, box the southpaw, awkward fight, someone's going to run, someone's going to get in your face. And then you'll learn the mental side of it. The mental side of it is the backlash he's getting right now from that fight. He's all the things he's being called, all the accusations he's getting, and it hurts you, puts a chip on your shoulder. But you know what? He'll actually be better because he'll fight with an attitude. He'll be pissed off. You know, pissed off that people. All of a sudden, people are slapping him on his back, and all of a sudden they call him all these names under the sun. They're doubting his integrity. Now Ben knows what injury he had. Ben knows how it went. I personally think Ben was trying too hard to get the knockout win because that platform out there was made for him. I think he was getting tired towards the point of the incident. I think if he wasn't that tired, he probably wouldn't have fallen over the ropes. Falling over the ropes is that's where the next step happens. Whether you believe him or not in regards to the injury, the question is, you know, he lives to fight another day, and he lives to want to get the rematch and get the job done. And when he does that, if he boxes him, then he wins the fight. You know, and I said earlier on, I remember boxing Michael Murray. Michael Murray, I think it was supposed to be a 10 round, and he moved it to an 8 or 6 rounder. And I was trying to knock him out. Brendan pulled me back in the court and said, "What the hell are you doing? You're going to get knocked out because we were both just missing each other by an inch." Brendan straightened me up and said, "Box him." And just that wisdom and I got the box and outboxed him and beat him. Ben needed that. Ben needs someone in there. This stage in your career, you need somebody that takes the reins and guides you. David Beckham wouldn't be David Beckham without Sir Alex Ferguson. Prince Naseem Hamed wouldn't be Prince Naseem Hamed without Sir Brendan Ingle. What I'm saying is you need somebody to guide and get the best out of you that you listen to and respect. Ben's not at that stage yet in his career, because that's basically saying, I can do this myself and get to the very top. You can't. You are the talent, but you need someone to bring the talent out of you. So Ben lives to fight another day and obviously do the rematch. I expect him to win the rematch if he boxes him. I expect him to do that. But that's what he's got to do. He's got to box him.
Yeah. Can you see why people might be, I don't want to use the word concern, but when you look at the talent that we believe we've got in Ben Whittaker, he could well go into the rematch, completely school Liam Cameron, we don't know. But it seems like during a sticky point of the fight, that's when it all unraveled.
Well, they both fell over the ropes.
And I guess that's, I mean, you're the fighter.
Yeah, sometimes.
Would you argue that that's something you can't
unravel.
teach?
They both fell over the ropes because he lost. He won every round. Up that point, he was tired.
Do you think Ben had won every round?
Yeah, he was tired. He was getting hit when we don't usually see him getting hit, but he still won every round. They both went over the ropes. Now, regardless of the injury, the legitimacy of the injury is our word, your word, and Ben's word. You know, so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you think of him morally, because remember, Usyk did that with what they accused him of with Daniel Dubois. We've forgotten about that. You know what I mean? So regardless, he lives to fight another day, and he thinks, right, we rubbed that out. That's a mistake. I got away with that one. Regardless of if you believe Ben or not, it's done. It's dusted. You'll move on. Take the heat. He's going to get a lot of shit. Next time he fights, people are going to talk about that. But the fight after that, people forget this. Fight after that, people forget even more. That's just a fight game. He's got to make sure he learns from it. Ben goes out there and boxes him, man bulls him. When you give a man a chance that shouldn't have one, things like that happen.
I guess, like you said, time does pass and people will forget. So do you think because we've seen Ben in a fight get hit when he's never been hit like that before, that perhaps spins the narrative inside your mind and you go, actually, because he's been here, is he losing this fight?
No, that's what I'm saying, and people are forgetting. Look at the fight. Ben had won every round up to that point. Ben was trying too hard to impress because he was on a platform that was made for him. He was trying to knock him out and get him out of there. He was doing what every other fighter does, forgetting why he's the one that stands out head and shoulders above everybody else. And so and that's a lesson that Ben's going to think, all right, I've learned that lesson, I won't do that again. And that's just how it is.
Tell you what, it's a tasty rematch. It's a really tasty rematch now. Fraser Clark, disappointment for him. Obviously, we saw the injuries that he walked away with. Kind of leave Fraser to do his thing, decide what he wants to do next. But on Fabio Wardley, what sort of heavyweight do you think we've got? Because a lot is made about his white-collar background.
Fabio Wardley.
He's now in the Ring Magazine rankings.
Yeah. What Fabio Wardley was 2 stone lighter than Fraser, and look how we smashed him. This kid can fight. The amateur pedigree to me doesn't mean Jack Diddley. I had 13 amateur fights. I only won 3. I ended up being a world champion. Some guys can be outstanding amateurs and be outstanding professionals, but some guys are fooled by the amateur pedigree and think, well, because I've got amateur pedigree, I'll be a I'll be a world-class fighter. Or the Harrison, look what he did in the Olympics. Look what he did as a pro. So Fabio is a better pro than he obviously. We don't know what he'd been like in an amateur, and he got the job done. Had power, had heart, had that something about him, a boom about him. And Fraser didn't. Fraser didn't have the experience as a professional. And what showed that is when Fraser got hit and he went into the ropes, he could have milked it, went over the ropes, you know, and then the referee breaks him, gets him to the centre ring and get on with it. But Fraser tried to get back into the fight, saying, no, I can't let him do that to me. Boom, gets caught again. You know, that's old school. You've got to understand how to play the game, buy a bit of time. Could have been different. So I think it was a lack on professional experience that put Fraser in that position, as well as a shot.
Yeah. This is a bit of an on-the-spot question, but who's the best heavyweight that you think Fabio Wardley could beat now or goes in as favourite against right now?
I don't know, because I don't know. I said it. I love Fraser. I'm his friend, and I was asked who I thought would win before the fight, and I had to lean towards Fabio, because I thought he just got that something special about him, and it killed me having to say it. But it doesn't mean I dislike the other. I just thought that was just my opinion. I think for Fraser, it wasn't the stoppage. It was the fashion and the the effect of the stoppage, that alarmed me. So in regards to who would Fraser box next, I don't want to see that, because I've seen something in front of our it was horrifying. It looked like he had a stroke. So it shows there's a capability of that happening, and I'm sure Fraser's family and friends, some friends will say it, some friends won't say it. But I think Fraser, you know what? You've been an outstanding amateur. You've turned up, you've become pro, you've got hurt. Boxing is the only game you can legally get killed. And when I saw the effects of that knockout on him, a big guy, if it's happened once, it can happen again. And some people have got a chin like iron. Some people, they'll take a shot, they'll be in wars. Some people, that there's that 1 in 100 that you get hit too much and there'll be a long-term effect. I don't want to see that. That's coming from a place of love. It's not dissing anybody. It's not saying, yo, you're done. I'm saying it's coming from a good place, and these are straight kind of talk you want.
Yeah. Just one more from me. What do you make of promoter gate out in Riyadh?
Well, you know what?
Do you think we can just look at it and be like, I know look, they're all doing business together, all sitting down at the negotiation table together. It is kind of good fun because Riyadh season's eliminated a lot of the promoter beef. So when we do get little bits, you can kind of see it as quite entertaining.
I think Turkey Al Sheikh is the daddy, he's the boss, and they've all got to behave themselves. So these promoters that are king of their little pond, they're in a big wide sea, and they've got to do as they're told and behave themselves. And so what's happening to Ben happened to Frank Warren. It's happened to Barry Hearn. Happened to Eddie Hearn. It also happened to Barry Hearn. And now it's happened to Ben. He's getting his head put down the toilet. They're bullying him. They're getting they're struggling to
ruffling him up a little bit.
Yeah,
like
they're ruffling him up. They're giving him a wedgie. They're giving him all that stuff because you know what? He's the new kid, and they're going to try and tap into all the inexperience and all the mistakes he's going to do. And we're watching it, but they can't complain about it because they've all been in that position. But now do you understand what it's like to be on the other side of the fence? So, and Ben held his own, On the stage I thought, damn, held his own.
Did you think Ben had that in him?
Pardon?
Did you think he had that in him?
I think he had it in him. But I looked, I thought, well, good on you, Ben. You've held your own. So regardless of what your opinion is of Ben, Frank, Eddie, you know what, he's part and parcel of the game. And so it's making people look bad and exposing them. Remember, there's cameras out there at every angle. So who looked bad out of all that?
Always going to catch it.
Yeah, who looked bad? Did Ben look bad? I don't. In my opinion, he didn't. Did Eddie look bad? In my opinion, he didn't. Frank looked bad. So Frank's got to be in a I don't give a shit mode. But then it's about public opinion. Does he give a shit what public opinion is? No. But then if you want people to believe the narrative, then you've got to do that shit behind closed doors, not in front of a million cameras.